welcome to the Dive Into the Longbox, your monthly comic book show. As we do our one-shot here, one-shot episode 9. This is where we review our comic of the month. It could be something old, something new. You'll have to wait and see every single month. Returning once again, here with me is good old my brother Drew.
Good.
That sentence made no sense. And then we're also here with good old Ajax, Canada's own.
Friendly neighborhood Canadian.
And I forgot to ask you something on the last one. People that missed the last issue, we talked about superhero toys and toys that we love to see improved on, some of our favorites, so go ahead and listen to that. But Ajax, I got a question for you. I forgot to ask you on the last one. How many leaves are on the Canadian flag?
How many leaves are on the Canadian flag?
Well, yeah, on the maple
one leaf, Gabe.
Oh, sorry. How many triangles are on the maple leaf? There's like, okay, I'll say on half of the maple leaf. Okay, let me count.
I'm actually not even, I mean, there's one leaf, obviously, but I don't know how many triangles there are.
One. Okay, either way, it doesn't look like the maple leaf. So I was looking at this figure we have here.
It is
of
not.
Guardian.
It is not.
And look at how many things are on this quote-unquote maple leaf.
What the fuck? There's like 6.
This doesn't look like a maple leaf. That's how curious.
It doesn't.
I just noticed. I've had this for years, and I just looked now. I was like, this looks nothing like a Canadian flag.
Nope.
Okay, just curious. It's okay. Ajax, in the book with you, you don't have the same amount either. So I guess it's on point. But on this one shot, what it is, it's a little preview. If you guys haven't listened to the issue, it's a whole different episode. We talk about one topic. It's a little shorter episode if you guys like shorter podcast. Today, though, like I said, like I said in the previous issue, What If is coming back to Disney Plus. It had a great season 1. People loved it. It spawned some great things. We're getting a Marvel Zombie show after how many people love their version of Marvel Zombies, but we're getting the actual thing done as an animated show. But I had a question for you guys, and I'm putting this all on the spot. Even myself, I had no time to think about this. What are some what-if topics that you would like to see done?
MCU based?
Any MCU
just in general,
based?
like comic
Yeah.
stuff as well.
Yeah, if you can't think of anything MCU based, you branch out. You know what I mean? There's no rules here. We got no laws. We're lawless. And that's when I thought, I was like, man, what the hell would I do for a what if? What would it be?
I got one. So you remember that issue where Wolverine is fighting with Alpha Flight because they want to capture him?
Yes.
Right. The Canadian government is after Wolverine.
Yep.
What if Alpha Flight captured Wolverine? What had happened there?
That would be a really good one.
What would the Canadian government had make of Wolverine?
I wonder. Let me see if there is that. What if Wolverine joined Alpha Flight? I wonder if that exists. Because like that, I'm very shocked if it doesn't. Oh. What is this?
Oh, it exists.
What if he led Alpha Flight?
Oh, okay.
Okay. No, that's a good one. That means you thought of one that was actually made. Ajax is like, well, now I gotta read it.
I guess it falls within the same lines, yeah.
Man, and look at Guardian's flag there. It looks like an actual maple leaf.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Man, okay. Because in my head, I was like, there's no way they didn't make that. Because of how popular they were trying to push Alpha Flight. And like the popular Wolverine, I was like, there's no way they didn't make this.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a good one, though. That's a really good one.
But mine wouldn't necessarily be like he
Leading
would join Alpha Flight. It would just be so like, what would the Canadian government do
with him
if they had a weapon like Wolverine?
That is very interesting. That would be cool. Like, what if? Yeah, I like that concept. What if Wolverine was controlled by the Canadian government? What if he answered to the Canadian government instead of the X-Men?
Yeah,
that'd be very interesting. We are going to be talking about a what if later, which kind of gets close to that. But yeah, why is the Canadian flag upside down in this picture? What is wrong with the Canadian flag and all this Marvel stuff? Put some respect on her name. Isn't that right, Ajax? Did you think of any? I can't.
I would like to see what if the X-Men joined the Brotherhood.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I could see that.
Like there's some kind of misunderstanding or fight or something where an X-Man or one of the team members gets maybe gunned down by U.S. military or somebody, and Xavier's just like, whatever, I'm done.
That would be really interesting.
It radicalizes like everyone in the group.
Yeah, where they just like, they're you're right. We can't coexist. They think we're monsters. Like, so it's either we either get eradicated by these people, like, or we just take over.
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
That'd be a
Instead
really
of
good one.
going Martin Luther King, they just go full on
yeah.
Malcolm X.
Or it could be the death of Xavier. It could lead to Xavier's death. Where now Eric's like, you see?
Yeah.
Like, you see? This is what I told you guys would happen.
Yeah.
Like, look. I loved him
Yeah, that would
too.
have some serious repercussions.
Yeah. Like, I loved him too. And I told him that they would do this to him one day. And they got him. And there you go. Now Wolverine and Sabretooth are a duo. Like,
And-
holy shit.
That would be really
All right, I'm
interesting.
sold already.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Right? Drew's like, yo, if Marvel makes that.
Like, who do you send to stop the X-Men?
Yeah.
Nobody.
My issue would be a quick one because I kind of know what would happen, but it's for people that it happened in the book. But if you guys watch, okay, this isn't on purpose that we all had an X-Men themed one or like an
This
X-Men
is
character
not
themed
intentional
one.
with my X-Men shirt.
I know, right? So mine was for people who watch the show. If you remember, the show started. Jubilee's on the run from Sentinels, and she's saved by the X-Men. What if the X-Men didn't save her? Maybe she would have just died, but who knows? Maybe she would have fought out of it and become like a loner because she didn't want to be home. Remember, her house got bombed and like a hand shoved through the wall.
Right to the wall.
Yeah, so it's like, how would her life have changed if Xavier? I think eventually he would have gotten to her because Xavier loves finding random mutants on the
Yeah.
street. But like, how would her life have been different if she didn't have the X-Men leading her on her way
Yeah.
and like helping her control her powers and all that? I just think because I also really like Jubilee. I still think she would be great for a movie. I think she'd be a really cool character.
She was in a movie. Lana
No, like
Condor played her.
no, like her own movie.
Oh,
Like
her
if they
own
made,
movie. Okay.
yeah,
okay.
like if they were to make like an X-Men character
You
to
know
a
what they
movie,
have?
obviously besides the big ones, I think Jubilee would be great.
I still say the X-Men, as much as I get it, they make money, but the X-Men is and will always be episodic.
Yeah.
Live action,
Oh, I agree.
like hey guys, we're doing a 6-episode event. Every episode is a backstory of a new mutant.
Yeah.
We got Rogue, we got Gambit, we got Jubilee, Psylocke, Hank McCoy, and Scott Summers. That's your first season. And then bring them all together in the X-Men. Like,
Yeah.
that way you can introduce a villain and a hero in the same movie or the same episode, and they just go their own separate ways eventually, and eventually you get your brotherhood, but then the story is really about your heroes.
Yeah.
That's how they should. I don't care if it's animated or live action, but then show us who they are, how they got there. I don't need it to be a 2-hour movie. Half-hour episodes, the X-Men, or it's like X-Men Origins. Boom,
Yeah.
there you go. X-Men Origins, Jubilee. X-Men Origins, Gambit. Stuff like that.
I think
I agree with Drew. I agree, spot on. I
think
mean, the X-Men universe is so expansive.
It's massive.
you need the time to tell the story.
It's massive.
It doesn't. It almost doesn't work as a movie because of how expansive it is.
Yeah, you need the time.
And hell, you'll never run out. Oh, X-Men Origins, multiple man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like Sabretooth, Toad, Storm, Jean Grey. Like, you could do as many of these as you want. You can, you could do from September to December, we're going to do part 1. From February to July or whatever, we're doing part 2. And then next Christmas, you're going to get the movie crossover event with all these people coming together.
Yeah.
And it could be at the end how Charles finds them and brings them together. And then you have your
That'd be cool.
event. But then you have your episodes where it's about Sabretooth.
Yeah.
And how does Eric find Sabretooth?
Yep.
And
Fuck man,
come on, it's like it's who gets to who
Hey,
first.
Ajax, I don't know if you're noticing
100%.
something. We're not pro writers. You see how easy it is to make something that works
Yeah.
without just, because you know what we're doing? We're just taking what's already there and making it happen.
Yeah.
It's-
Oh,
But Drew
wait,
just-
you're telling me that there was a Sabretooth book?
Yeah, I know, right?
An issue? Just an issue about Wolverine and Sabretooth?
Yup. Like, what the hell?
That had nothing
No,
to
but-
do with the rest of the line, but it worked.
Drew gave me an idea. Like, with Gen V, you could take what Gen V is doing, and you could like make a whole show around Professor School.
Yeah,
Mhm.
palette swap it
You
with
could make
X-Men
a whole
characters. It'd be
show
great.
around that.
Palette swap with
guess
X-Men
what?
characters.
You have your X-Men movie or whatever, but then you have your TV series where you introduce your Kitty Pryde, your Nightcrawler, Bobby.
Literally,
all
the
those
two main
people,
characters
you
of
know?
Gen V you can swap for Jean
Yeah.
Grey and Cyclops.
But, yeah, and then
you know what I mean?
yeah, and then like your professors, your leads in
Yeah.
the show are basically like X-Men that we know, but like
Mhm.
aren't, you know, it's not going to be Wolverine every week.
Yeah.
But you know, you'd have Hank,
Yeah.
you know, helping them out.
And I think
or-
another big mistake that these places do is that like they think we need to know the background for everything that's going
Yeah.
to happen. Just throw us into it. We know what happens. We're not dumb. We know we know the X-Men and
I'm
what
not
they are
going
and
to
why
see an
they
X-Men
exist.
movie like, oh, who's that?
Yeah, exactly. Wow, who's this rogue gal that's here?
Oh, Bryan Singer. You say what you don't want about him, but when 2001 X-Men came out, there was no origin
Yeah.
except for Rogue, and it was kind of trash. But everybody else was. That's Wolverine. That's Cyclops. That's Storm. Sabretooth. He's with him. They're
And
with
that's
them.
what I liked
like,
about Deadpool when like Juggernaut showed up.
He's
He
like,
was
oh
like,
my god,
Holy shit, it's
the
Juggernaut. And everyone's like, yeah, it is.
Holy shit!
I don't need to find out like him becoming Juggernaut because we all know that story.
Yeah, or Colossus just pops up,
Yeah.
and then who's he got? Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Yeah.
If you say you went to go see Deadpool for Negasonic, you're a liar.
Yeah.
But when that movie ended,
I
bam,
watched that Deadpool 2 for
everybody
Kamiko.
knew. Yeah. Hey, Kimiko.
Hey, Wade. I had another what if. One of you guys might have said this already, but this might actually be made. What if Professor X and Magneto swapped?
Hmm.
Like, what if Magneto ran the school? If it was Magneto's school for
I
gifted,
think that makes
and-
Charles.
and Charles is the crazy mind control guy trying to
that makes Charles
control
the most
everyone.
dangerous man on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
It makes him even more dangerous than Magneto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be interesting to see, and seeing how the X-Men manage against an evil, non-wheelchair Professor X. We could even do a wheelchair-bound Magneto.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting. It would make sense because he's floating. It's metal. It would make sense. But
Yeah, he'd just be in the same thing.
Yeah,
Just
the same exact thing. It would make
same
sense.
exact thing.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting, like an evil Professor X. Again, I keep listing X-Men ones, but I think since X-Men has so many colorful characters that
Yeah.
could be put in interesting situations,
Well,
and it's hard.
the
not to
X-Men
do it.
universe is so big that you could split it off from Marvel and form your own comic book company with
Yeah.
it.
Literally, if it was like X-Men comics, like,
Yeah.
and the name works, like it'll work.
I have two.
Two?
First one, what if Peter never gave up the black symbiote?
Okay, I had someone similar
Okay.
in my head, but I'll say it after.
And then the second one, oh wait, you go on yours first.
Mine had to do with the
okay.
symbiote. Is like, what if the symbiote attached to someone else in Secret Wars, like in Iron Man or Captain America?
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah,
that's
'cause
not
they're all
Spider-Man.
there. Hulk.
Yeah, imagine if, dude, imagine.
Oh
I mean,
my
Marvel
God.
loves doing their symbiote characters. Their symbiote characters is like a Jokerized character from McFarlane.
Yeah.
They love their Joker,
Oh yeah.
their Joker Black Widow that they're making now. It's
Yeah.
like what? Or
I-
not Joker? Oh, sorry, Venom Black Widow.
Venomized.
I
Venomized.
Saw,
Venomized.
I saw a Venomized Hulk toy at the store. the
But like,
other day.
imagine in
Yeah.
Secret Wars if Venom latched onto the Hulk, it'd
Yeah.
be done. Like, that'd be interesting.
What if Loki lifted Mjolnir?
Oh,
Yeah.
that changes everything.
I mean, I don't know how, but what if?
Yeah, no, that'd be interesting.
What if he had the power of Thor?
What if Loki became Thor?
Yeah.
Like, if
What-
Loki
what if-
became the god of thunder,
What if Loki had the power of Thor?
that'd be interesting.
Like, let's
That is
say-
another one. Is that not made? That has to be, right? Because it's such an easy
Yeah, like
thing to do.
That's such an easy one to
I mean,
name.
Thor dies, and now it's on him. Like,
Does it exist? Okay, this is what if he had found the hammer,
Hammer
of
of
Thor.
Thor.
So it's not
Close enough.
close enough.
Close enough.
But I wasn't looking to like
No, yeah.
take back
I'm
anything you said. I was just curious,
Yeah.
like, because it's such like a easy thing to do. I mean, with the success of the show, they might do that in a new What If.
They
Who
might,
knows?
yeah,
Who
he
knows?
Might, he might pop in Secret Wars with a hammer.
Yeah, like who knows?
Listen, they did it already with Cap, but if they're getting their asses handed to them by Doom or Kang, and Loki comes in with a hammer, I'm gonna be all for it. Like, yeah, get him, Loki.
Thorpool. That's a
What
big
about
mistake.
the people he
Deadpool as
murdered?
Thor.
Murder, what?
Yeah,
Murder,
did you see that meme, Ajax?
Which
He
one?
was the best guy around.
Yeah.
What about the
He
people
was
he
the
murdered?
best guy
What
around.
murder? It was Loki. What murder? Oh,
One
man.
of the best, maybe my favorite what if that I've ever read. It came out a couple years ago. It's what if Spider-Man became the Punisher?
Oh, yeah, I have seen that one. I have a couple other Punisher ones too. Like, what if Punisher killed Daredevil? Which in the end, if I'm correct, he kills himself. 'Cause
Which
he's like,
Which he does in Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe.
That might be what I'm mixing it up with, because
which is also the first Garth Ennis Punisher.
that's the one where he kills everyone and then at the end he just offs himself
He
because
just kills himself. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the last one remaining, so he kills himself.
Mhm.
Which is Jesus Christ, Garth. Garth really hates his superheroes.
He does.
He hates his old school
Yeah,
superheroes.
his theory on that was you've in doing what you just did, you've become the legend that.
Yeah.
So you're just like, well,
If you want to
gotta
know,
go.
if you want to know Garth's images on any sort of superhero, just watch The Boys.
Yeah.
All superheroes
Yeah.
are assholes, full of themselves,
Yeah,
secretly
superheroes
douchebags. Yeah, but the normal people, that's where the fun is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a list of what if?
There's gotta be.
Is there an episode breakdown? Oh, I see a Santa
See,
watcher.
There is a season 2. Well, the way they're doing it this year is that it starts on December 22nd, and every day leading to Christmas is a new episode.
I saw that, which I think is
that's
awesome.
fun.
9 episodes in 9 days. Yeah.
Let's see.
That's pretty fun.
They did release the breakdown. I don't know. I forget where I saw it.
Episode. That's when I look to see what they're doing. Does it say here?
No.
No. Does
That red one. Check that red one.
this one?
Yes, that's
This
it.
is it?
Yep.
All right. What if Nebula joined the Nova Corps? That's pretty cool. What if Peter Quill attacked Earth's mightiest heroes? That would be interesting because he was in space with all these bad dudes for growing up with them.
I
What
wonder
if he didn't turn good?
I wonder if that's did Ego get him? What? I bet you. What's his face? I'm having a brain fart. Yandu.
Yeah.
I bet you Yandu brings him back to Ego, and Ego takes his body or something.
I could see that. What if
Happy
Happy
Hogan
Hogan
saved
saved Christmas? That's
it.
fun. What if Iron Man crashed into the Grand Master? What if Captain Carter fought the Hydra Stomper?
Ooh.
They're doing a what if about a what if character now
Yeah.
because she was so successful. That's like Spider Girl, man.
Well,
she was a what if
basically,
character and then they made her
basically
real.
She's got her own universe.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. What if the Avengers assembled in 1602? That's kind of cool. What if Hela found the 10 rings?
Oof.
What if Kaori reshaped the world? And what if Strange Supreme intervened? That kind of rhymes.
Bars.
There's some of those in there I really want to see.
Well, the Iron Man crashed into Grandmaster. I also think one that's not listed here that we might be getting this year is the supposedly we're going to be getting the Gamora episode that was taken out of last season.
Oh,
What
really?
if Gamora killed Thanos or something like that?
Oh.
It was Gamora, god of whatever. That's why she had the suit.
Yeah.
That's what I heard, but I don't see
Well, I
it on
see
the
that
list.
this MCU portal on Instagram talks about. That's the first one on there.
Hmm.
What if Gamora killed Thanos?
Oh, so that's
Oh,
this
what if
might
Happy
be it.
Hogan saved Christmas? It's a playoff from Iron Man 3.
Oh, okay, so this has got to be it. What if Gamora killed Thanos? What if Captain Carter found the Hydra Stomper?
What if the Tesseract landed in Haudenosaunee Confederacy before the colonization of America?
Interesting.
What if Hank Pym
Oh, okay. I saw that in the trailers, and I didn't know what the hell it
Oh,
was.
what if Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne fought the Red
Red
Guardian during
in
the 1980s?
Yep.
Oh, we're
Also-
getting Red Guardian? Let's
yeah,
go.
Red, what's his face from Stranger Things?
He's
is
coming back?
And
Hey.
so is
Listen, I didn't like that Black Widow movie, but I liked him.
I like that.
He was funny.
Also, Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer coming back as.
Oh, there we
Hank
go.
and
What if
Janet.
Yondu delivered Star-Lord to Ego?
There we go. That's got to be it.
Yeah. What if Wanda had grown up watching musicals instead of sitcoms? What if Odin and oh my god, it's like a WandaVision, just all musicals. What if Odin and Hela had faced Wenwu, and what if Avengers had fought Surtur? So there's a couple differences because some of them for the other list aren't here. Actually, no, they are. No, some of them are gone. So I guess we'll wait and see on the official one.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah, let's see.
I think What If is cool. I think it gives people a chance to be creative.
That's Kaori.
I think it gives people a chance to be creative,
Yeah.
which we don't see a lot. I feel like with movies, it's just it's a lot of rehash. I think with the What If, I think that's
What
why
if-
it's so successful.
What if his
'Cause it's so
multiverse
different.
done right?
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
think it's a success for that
I
reason.
mean, Black Panther as Star-Lord, if you were to pitch that, people would have been like, "Get the hell out of here!"
Yeah,
But then it happened, and he becomes your favorite
dude.
character.
If
on that
you
show.
say Sharon Carter as Captain America, people will be like, "What?"
yeah,
But
And
now
then-
it's
and
now
then-
it's in live action.
yeah, she became so popular. Her shield is in Target right now.
Yep.
And she's in a movie.
Yep.
Live action movie.
And her figure's always sold.
Yeah.
I saw this
I haven't.
image here from the trailer. They look like Fortnite characters. I looked quick. I was like, "Are these Fortnite characters?" Yeah, it looks cool. It looks like Gamora's wearing Thanos' armor. If I'm
the one-
correct.
This is from season 1. That's the Guardians of the Multiverse.
Oh, that's cool.
But they cut her episode, so I guess we're getting it finally.
Oh, nice.
And they're gonna explain how the hell Tony Stark was in that world. He's got, like a Hulkbuster suit.
That is cool.
I low key kind of wanted that Ultron Vision
Yeah.
live action somewhere.
So, very, very cool. Very excited for What
If.
If. And we're going to stick with the trend here, guys, because there's a comic of the month. And all right, this was hyped up to me. My father loves this book. I actually went to multiple cons trying to find this book. It took me quite a while, but I found it. The dude cut me a deal. And this book is interesting. All right, so it picks up. It starts off, Watchers, introducing us. And by the way, there's a Cracker Jack comic book in here. The Watchers introducing us, and we are currently at that scene with the Wendigo. With Hulk, the iconic cover where he's swinging at him.
Yep.
He knocks Wendigo out, which is normal. He starts beating on Hulk, and in the real book, Wolverine, it's a draw, and he's fine with that being a draw because he's like, wow, that's a tough son of a bitch. And this is where it changes. There's a certain panel in here, Ajax, where Wolverine has this angry snarl on his face, and it's all red around him, and he snaps.
Berserker Rage.
He goes, literally, it's Berserker Wolverine, and he slits Hulk's throat multiple times and kills him.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's like, oh shit. And if you look, if you see in her Ajax, there's a bunch of Avengers watching it on the news, and they're all like, God damn, the Hulk's dead. Like, the Hulk got killed. Like, that is the Hulk. So everyone's crying about it. What's her name? Betty. She's crying about it. Her dad's like, listen, it happened. And she's like, Dad, but I loved him. He's like, I get it. It's whatever. So then, as we continue on in the story here, Magneto shows up with his Brotherhood, and he's like,
I want him.
that Wolverine fella looked cool. He just killed the Hulk.
He's made of what?
Yeah.
What?
And I will say, this whole book is explaining to you what's happening. Wolverine's like, I gotta jump in front of this rock to save you. Oh, and he gets hit. It's like that kind of book. And that's why I found it funny. 'Cause it's very of its time. I try to put myself in the time. You know what I mean? Especially going from reading Invincible to this, it's completely different. Then Wolverine goes to a bar to celebrate. I killed the Hulk. I'm a badass. He's having some beers. Some bitches are around him. She's like, gosh, Logan, we haven't had this much fun in ages. Tell us again how strong you are. And he's like,
that green dude.
and his dudes around him are like, stop stealing our woman. And they start punching Wolverine.
Why would you try to fight the man that killed the Hulk?
So-
what are you doing?
He's like, and of course, this is already like Wolverine's an X-Men with like the current look. So he's written like later Wolverine. Like, all right, bub, like that. So he's written pretty updated. And he's like, all right, motherfucker, like, you want to go? I'll go. And then he rages out again, and he kills a civilian.
Yeah.
And he's like,
You don't
oh,
say.
shit.
You don't say.
He says, what have I done? I lashed out without thinking. I killed a civilian. He's thinking that. So he goes back, and he meets up with, who is this again? James McDonald. James McDonald Hudson, of Canada fame, as you can see, by the Canadian Maple Leaf.
The Guardian.
Yes. He meets up with him, and he's like, holy shit, Mac, you gotta help me. I thought it was an episode of It's Always Sunny. He's like, Mac, you gotta help me. And he's like, and then he says in his head, wow, Wolverine smashed through that door like it was paper. Oh, Wolverine, what do you want? And he's like, dude, I just killed a guy, a civilian. And he's like, listen, you killed the Hulk, and like, you were doing it in defense.
Cut to the credit scene. Gang kills the Hulk.
And then he tells him, and he's like, but I killed a civilian. What should I do? Can you guys protect me? And he's like, yeah, we can. When we bring you to court, we need to go through the judicial system with this. And he's like, do you understand? Like, this is a law. You broke it. We have to follow the law. And Wolverine literally goes, yeah, I understand. Whap. He's like, fuck you. He says, I sweat blood for the military, doing their dirty jobs, and when I come begging for help, you throw me to the wolves?
He just
no
turns
way,
around
Hudson.
and straight up runs.
He bitch slaps him.
I'm out of here, bitch.
And as he's running, he's like, oh no, like I'm in like the worst situation ever. And then he gets beamed up like it's Star Trek to Magneto's ship. And he's like, ooh, you did real good down there. I saw you kill all these motherfuckers.
You smell like metal, boy.
And he says, do you want to help me take down the X-Men? And he's like, I guess. He's like, he literally says here, I have no choice. Like, if I don't, I'm going to jail.
It's like, well, you're made of metal, so you're gonna do it anyway.
And at that time, Professor X is like, oh, I sent someone that exists, that has a mutant power. I need to find him. So he has all the X-Men stop doing other Danger Room stuff. And he's like, I've already found him. Introduce yourself. Wolverine. And he's like, hi, I am the new guy here. Nice to meet you. And he's like, everyone seems cool. He's shaking everyone's hand. And for no reason, Cyclops is like, I don't trust that motherfucker. He says, I don't trust our newest member.
You know how funny it would have been if Charles Xavier's like sitting in his chair like, oh, I sense a new guy. He's got powers, and meanwhile everybody's looking at the TV like, this motherfucker just killed the Hulk on TV.
All of the Avengers
like, we
watch
all
it.
see him. We see him. Like, oh no.
So then they fight some Sentinels, and they're like, Wolverine, Cyclops is more like, Wolverine, you need to prove yourself. Fight these Sentinels, and he's like, all right,
you still
yeah.
little bitch.
And he's like, God, he's cutting them up, and they're like, Wolverine, we couldn't do it if it wasn't for you. And he says, quote, oh, how can I betray the X-Men? Basically, they're so nice to me. What am I doing with myself?
Cyclops walks away. You're great, Logan. A little bit.
So then, after saying that, he goes, but yeah, I'm still gonna go with the plan. So he goes into Professor X's office. He pops his claw and he stabs the machine panel because that takes down their defenses from notifying him about Magneto, which makes sense.
Controls his chair.
Yep. So as he's doing that, he's doing this while holding a beer in his hand.
Oh, he is
Very Wolverine. And then as he's leaving, he's taking the corner. And he's like, "Oh shit!" By the way, he's in costume this whole time. It's the middle of the night. He turns and runs
full
into
gear.
Yeah. He turns into Jean Grey, who's in a bathrobe.
He's out on page right now, full gear.
And she's like, "Oh, you startled me." And he's like, "Sorry, Jeannie. I couldn't sleep, so I got a brew. I got a beer. That's why I'm still awake in my costume." Yeah. And she's like, "Thanks for like you don't have to say thanks for," because he wants to thank them for saving him. And she's like, you don't have to." And he's like, okay, yeah, well, good night. And then he leaves and's like,
in full mask.
God damn, she fine. Like, he leaves and he's
God
like,
damn, she fine.
Literally, he's like, oh my God. He goes, yeah, I'm friends, all right. And that's just the trouble. He doesn't want Jean to die.
She can read your mind, Logan.
So he's laying shirtless in bed now with his beer, drinking his beer. He's completely naked. And Magneto just shows up and he's like, what the fuck are you doing here, bro? And he's like, I just want to make sure you're following my instructions. And he's like, yeah, dude, it's destroyed. How do you think you're in here right now? Like, obviously. And he goes, but I have one rule. Like, you can take over the X-Men. That's fine. But Jean Grey goes free or the deal's off.
Show him the picture. Magneto straight up ghosts Obi-Wan. Straight up Jedi.
And Wolverine's leg looks like a boner in his face.
Straight up Jedi. Magneto's like, what did I walk in on?
So he's like, listen, you don't decide what happens here. Like, I hired you. And he's like, well, then I'll kill you. And he's like, fine. It'll go. Like, I'll fine. I won't kill Jean. So then he goes back to his lair and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill Jean. I'm killing all these motherfuckers. I can tell you that. I'm gonna beat the shit out of all of them.
Cyclops still like this little bitch. He's still a little bitch.
So they go to the danger room. And Cyclops is like, Jean, look what I can do. And he carved her name into metal with his laser eyes. And she's like, oh, Scott, you're so cute.
You know who's not a little bitch? I'm not no bitch, Jean.
So then they're obviously like, her eyes are bugging out of her fucking head. She's like, holy shit, you made my name in cursive. So as they're talking, Wolverine just jumps in front of them. And he says, hi, troops. Hope I'm not intruded. And she's like, yeah, dude, that was rude. She literally says, Wolverine, that was rude. Scott and I were talking. And he's like, listen, you're too good for him, all right?
Blowing shit up.
And by the way, I forgot to mention it when they were talking in the hallway the night before. She was like, you should change your mask. It looks kind of scary and mean. So he has the new mask here, and he says, hey, Jeannie, I took your advice from last night, and I changed my mask.
Still looks scary and mean, but all right, but cooler. Real cool. And
he says here, I just wanted to show you that I took your advice and redesigned my mask. Maybe later we could, literally, And Cyclops is like, what? He's like, is something wrong? Can you not talk? and then he says outright, a rumbling sound is coming from behind that wall. And then just boom, Magneto just blows the danger room up. He just destroys it. Wrecks house. Everyone's like trying to run away from Lorelei, whose her power is she sings and she can control you. So she's controlling all of the men but Jean, because her power only works on men. So Jean's just standing there like, what do I do? What do I do? And for some reason, Professor X is in the danger room and he can hear it. Like, he's in like the office, and he's just hunched over and he's like, fuck Jean, like turn the alarm on, so we can have her shut up. So she's like, and she just like runs away. She runs away. She books it. And at that point, they're like, Magneto, look, Marvel goes up to something. And by this point, what's his name is with them? Guardian's with them, or not Guardian? from earlier Ajax, from Canada. Guardian, yeah, Guardian. He's with Magneto now because they're hunting down Wolverine.
Little snitch.
And he's like, she's running, and Magneto's like, oh, I'm going to cut her in half with this piece of metal from the danger room. So he lifts it up.
0 to 10.
And he throws it. And then Wolverine says, no. Out loud, he says, no, he sent it hurtling right at her. Don't fight him, Jeannie. Magneto promised to not hurt you. And she's like, motherfucker, you're the traitor. It was you. And she goes, how could you turn your back against us? And
All while this metal plate's flying.
All while it's flying towards him. Ajax, there was like 3 panels of him talking.
Yeah.
He's like, he explains everything, and 2 of the panels are him thinking to himself.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta stop it. So out loud he yells, unless I run interference for her. And he gets hit by it. And she says, wow, Wolverine saved me. He deliberately threw himself into the path of that missile.
Cyclops like this little bitch.
So then they're
Still a bitch.
obviously with logic, someone runs over and turns off the switch that she set.
Yeah.
And is like, all right, now we're gonna fuck you guys up again. So as she's about to talk, giant scissors show up and try to cut off the wings of Angel.
Nope.
And he's like, oh no.
Fucking Magneto.
He's trying to fly away. And it's this guy here, Mastermind. Mastermind is making all these things show up. He's trying to cut up.
Let's hit pause for a second.
Okay.
You have a guy who can control metal.
Mhm.
That can metal.
Mhm.
But you have a guy try to cut the wings off of Angel who just makes things with his mind.
I have a question about everything about that Mastermind character. He can make these realistic looking monsters.
Yeah.
Why can't he just make a Wolverine to interfere with them?
Or have the guy with metal who's launching blades around to try to cut down girls, take the guy with the wings out.
So then we get the usual. They punch Mastermind, all his stuff goes away.
Yeah, screw
Wolverine
that.
he does the iconic punch the Blob stomach.
Yeah.
Blob stomach, it eats it, and he's like, I can't be killing him, invulnerable. And he's like, oh shit, that dude didn't feel that punch. So then he lures him into the wall, and as we know, because Blob says, hey, you ducked my fist, and I struck the wall. And then he just lifts him up and just slams him head first into the wall, totally concussing the Blob.
Blob should be dead.
By the way, the Hulk was in the first page of this, and it hasn't.
That was it.
So this is where it starts to get. It starts to pick up.
Another
Here.
pause.
Yes.
He straight up just murders the Hulk, but Blob, he's like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
So now they're all fighting. Oh, sorry, it's not the guy from Canada. This is
It looks just like him.
It looks
Swear
just
to
like
God.
him.
It's that character.
But his power is that he's untouchable. Oh, he is the untouchable. Eunice the untouchable, where if you do anything to him, it just bounces off. He has like a force field around him.
I swear that last panel, they just took it right off of that first panel with
Yeah.
Guardian. It was just like, they won't know.
Same guy, same hair
won't
and
know.
everything. But he's like, everything you guys throw at me, I'm not gonna take. It's just gonna bounce off. So Cyclops is like, I got an idea. Just lasers a circle in the ground, and he just plummets to, I guess, the second
This
floor.
dude dies.
I'm guessing the second floor of the mansion, where he can come back through the hole that was made earlier.
Yeah, that's why I thought you a little bitch too, huh?
And to make sure he stays on that second floor, they put a hunk of ice over it to make sure he doesn't come back through that one hole, even though there's multiple holes in this building.
So buried him alive
Basically.
in the basement. Got
And
it.
then Magneto's like, all right, I'm going to fuck up the circuitry of this so there's no more alarm. Shuts it off. And he's like, sing, woman, sing. Control them. And she has like hair tied around her mouth. Right here, as you can see. She's tied up. Jean tied up. Lorelai, so
Use
she
your
can't.
telekinesis.
Yeah, so she can't sing.
Damn, tied up with your own hair. That's a bummer.
That sucks. And then, so Magneto's like, fight me, all of you. And like, Professor X is like, oh no, they're playing into his hands. And I'm like, tell them that. Tell them that. Like, tell them to stop. Don't just be like, oh no, they're doing it. Either way, he fights them off. Wolverine runs in with a kick to the back of his neck, knocking the helmet off. And he starts clawing away at Magneto. And he's about to kill Magneto.
Mm-hmm.
He is a strike away from being killed. He's bleeding from the mouth. And Scott's like, listen, you're better than this. Stop killing him. And it's funny because
killed Jean.
Cyclops says, stop it, Wolverine. You're killing him. And the Wolverine says, so what? He tried to scrag us. And Cyclops says, that's not the point. You're an X-Man, not a murderer. No, he is a murderer, as we've learned in the beginning of this book. So then, this is about the end here. Magneto's like, these dumbasses think I'm dead. They think I'm just gonna lay here. So he starts controlling Wolverine's claws, and Wolverine's like, what the fuck? Why did my claws just come out? And he makes Wolverine stab himself in the throat, killing Wolverine. And that was the last bit of Magneto's energy, as Magneto also dies from the wounds from Wolverine. And he tells Jean, Genie, if only things could have worked out differently. If only. Ugh. And Iceman just says, he's gone. And then,
Cyclops says, "Who's the little bitch now?"
yeah. He was there for a day,
Who's the
and
little bitch? That's right.
Wolverine and Magneto die in this What If
yeah.
book, along with the Hulk.
Change your mask for nothing, little bitch.
So that is What If Wolverine had killed the Hulk. Ajax, what did you think of What If Wolverine had killed the Hulk? I don't do a lot of play-by-play comic books, but I needed to with this one.
That was
It
great.
it was
that
wild.
was so overly complicated.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Imagine if Magneto busts through that wall and then Cyclops is like, "All right, the one guy who's made out of metal, you gotta get the fuck out of here."
Imagine if he busted through the wall.
Because-
Cyclops is just like, ah,
Because at this point,
lasers
like,
him.
listen, we've been whipping this dude's ass for 20 years.
Yeah.
Logan, just step out. Step out real quick.
Also, at this point, make your danger room out of different material, just in case.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, let's have these metal floorboards that are deadly and sharp and can be pulled out with ease by Magneto. That was What If Wolverine had killed the Hulk. Again, Hulk was only in it for the beginning.
We joke, but it's a classic fucking book.
It is. It's a classic book. You gotta understand, this was of the time. This is how comic books were written at the time. I'm making fun of it, but that's just how it was. Even though I made fun of it, I still had fun reading it because I was laughing the whole time. There actually is another What If in here. What if Fantastic Four had never been? I didn't read that though. I just saw a picture of Ben Grimm beating the shit out of someone in his trench coat, and I was like, whoa. But yeah, if you guys are still interested, you can win a Columbia 10-speed Formula 10 racer because of this comic. This is the reason why a lot of comics are missing only half of their cover because people send them in.
Also, let's see. Some of these had like those weird catalogs in between.
Oh yeah, they had like pages of like catalog stuff. Ajax.
Oh, get some X-ray glasses.
Yeah, it was like weird random shit, and it was like little kids running around. Right there, bubblegum.
Here we go.
What are these ads?
Kung Fu?
Kung Fu.
You want Kung Fu?
Ajax, do you want a free comic list?
Oh, you can special offer for only $225. You can get a 1943 coin set.
Oh, game changer.
What a deal.
Walt Disney stamp. Spoilers, Marvel.
Spoiler alert.
And stare at all the horrible monsters of all time. Dinosaurs and werewolves.
Oh shit! I love these ads even to the late '90s because like if you read an Image book, halfway through they have a page like this and it's advertising Marvel books. It's advertising like DC and Dark Horse books. It's so weird. Like you would never see that nowadays.
Mile High Comics.
The only time I've seen that with a recent comic is if like a movie's coming out and one time Marvel was advertising a Batman movie. I was like, what?
Yeah, they were advertising the Batman.
Yeah. I was like, what?
Oh, Mile High Comics is amazing. It's this comic shop in Denver. It's like a fucking warehouse.
Well, that's when you were talking to me about
insane.
last time.
Yeah,
You were saying I
look
need to
that
go.
up on YouTube.
It's a giant warehouse, right?
It is. It's a giant warehouse full of comic books.
I want to fucking go, man. What was it again?
Mile High Comics.
Mile High.
Mile High Comics. It's a little bear. Look at this.
Dang, that looks like a convention.
Yeah, that's the store.
Yeah, that's just like one part of it.
Look at the outside. It's the giant. Oh, look at those giant
Yeah,
covers, man.
that's
That
pretty sick.
is so cool. Is it kitty cat?
Cat, yeah.
Look at
Yeah,
this
there's a
shit.
cat that lives in the store.
Damn, dude. That's what I want my basement to look like. Look at the giant.
Shit.
Look at the giant ship back here. This
He's got
giant
an X-wing.
starfighter.
He's
What
got an
the
X-wing.
fuck, dude? You have a huge X-wing in the back.
Giant X-wing.
Oh, he has the Rainbow,
Rainbow
Bridge
Bridge.
to cross the train tracks.
Leading to a Thor Silver Surfer fight.
That is so cool.
Going to Denver.
Yeah, you got Kevin Smith
Hey,
in there.
man.
Hell yeah, dude. That is so cool. Well, CFG's going to Denver.
Hot damn.
If you want to know the size of it, that's the Spider-Man that goes on the ceiling at Barnes & Noble back in the day.
Spider-Man.
That's it on the wall, and look how small it looks.
Yeah.
That
I
thing is
remember
huge. These
that
are all
used to
long
be-
boxes
remember
here.
that? I don't know if you remember the bookie down the street. They used to have that in the window.
Yes, I remember that.
Spider-Man.
I remember that. I remember because I was scared of it at first. Oh no, I was scared of the one in Borders. Ajax, did you ever have Borders? It's basically just Barnes & Noble, but it was their competition.
No, never had it.
Yeah, dude, there's this place called Borders, and they had one on the ceiling. It was him and Venom. They had inflatable
Yeah.
Venom, and they were like crawling on the ceiling together. And I used to be scared of it that they would fall on me, even though they were inflatable.
Balloons. Oh, they got a big Sully.
Oh shit, they do have a big Sully.
Damn, that's a big ass Sully. And they got Mike.
This place is ginormous.
This is great.
Is that the line to get in? Oh, they're just doing a picture. Okay, I was like, the line to get into this place is probably crazy. Damn, dude, I want to go so bad.
They have a lot of like
Hey, there's
figures
the
and
comic list you want.
statues and like memorabilia.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Inside the store that you can buy. Yeah.
Damn. This is on my radar. You said in Denver?
Denver.
What the hell do I have to go to Denver for?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a reason. I'm gonna tell Justine,
This is the reason.
hey, we're doing
Let's
a
go
trip
to
to Denver. For what?
Denver.
No reason, you know. Making a pit stop. Oh, this Lobo's huge.
Oh,
It's
snap.
a cool as Lobo. Cool shit, man.
Frag.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, guys, that is our one shot. One shot number 9 will be back with issue 10 in December. We're gonna have some more special guests on. We're gonna have Jonathan and Nate on that episode because we're talking about
Sure.
manga for the first time on this. We kind of dived into it a little bit. No pun intended. That's the name of the podcast. But we're gonna really dive into it with them because that's all they read is manga. Nate reads comics too, but he's a manga kid
I mean,
through and
those
through.
guys went out to the land of manga.
They won a I want to ask them too when they're here what they saw there, but they won a free trip to Japan thanks to Kingdom Hearts because they were just fans and
Yeah.
they
What?
Ajax,
That's
they submitted
crazy.
dude they submitted you know those things where it's like win a trip for 2 or whatever
And they just won.
and they
Yeah.
just won. It's a giant sentinel Lego
Halt.
inside Mile High Comics. What the fuck? Yeah, so I would love to hear from them like what they saw there and stuff, but yeah, so that's what's going to be happening next month. The comic of the month next month, we do not know yet. We will be getting to that. But I want to thank Ajax, as always, for being on here. Thank Drew once again for coming through.
Cool.
I want
always
to
a
thank
pleasure.
Drew as well. Drew was a
Thank
great
you.
guest.
Thank you for having me, guys.
It's always fun. I think both these episodes could have gone 3 hours, but
Probably.
I don't think
Easily.
I don't think my throat can handle it, and we don't have that kind of airwave time. But we will see you guys on the next one. You guys take care and stay safe. Bye.